campus, I personally haven't experienced discrimination, but as far as discrimination on campus, I would say students may discriminate based on appearance, whether it be color of skin or the way they dress, and how approachable a group is to another based on their clothing or their color of skin.
Instances that I personally experienced discrimination was just, you know, when it came to my sexuality, people would act very uncomfortable to the point that I know some people, you know, might not always agree with it, but it gets to the point where they can't function around you, or like they act weird, or they can't communicate with you. It makes you feel like a second-class citizen, because it's like, I'm just like you, I just don't live the same way you do, so there's no need to like treat or act differently around me.
I haven't experienced any kind of discrimination.
I mean, I haven't really seen any, but just because this is a very liberal school, I could only assume that more conservative or Republican students would feel a bit uncomfortable voicing their opinions.
I feel like people on campus are really open, and I know that Ithaca says that they're very diverse, but I'm a first-year student, so when I came here, I was like, oh, it's not as diverse as I expected, but definitely people are open, and I haven't like experienced anything dealing of people being racist or like discriminatory.
I have to say there haven't been many actual cases of discrimination on campus, but I will say that due to, I would say, the lack of diversity on campus, it does feel a little like overwhelming. You kind of feel a little left out sometimes.
I guess I could say I have experienced discrimination on campus. I mean, I consider myself to be liberal, but I'm also Catholic, and people tend to think those two things can't go together. And sometimes when people hear that you are of a faith community, they make assumptions, and they think that, oh, well, the Westboro Baptist Church is a Christian organization, they're homophobic, so you're like that too. And I really am more like the Pope Francis kind of Catholicism, where you're loving your neighbor and everything. So I wish that people could look past that a little more.
None that I've witnessed personally. You know, I've had friends who, you know, told me they might have an issue with a professor, you know, in a particular class, in the sense where they may have only been the only student of a color, so they felt some sort of way about, you know, contents being taught in the class and the way they were being taught.